Good morning everyone, this is Alaya and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing an archetype reading. What are archetypes? Well, archetypes have been known since ancient times. The Greek philosopher Plato, for example, referred to them, to pre-existing abstract ideas or templates, as forms. For instance, the form of beauty has different manifestations in the 3D world. Let's say a beautiful person, a work of art, a flower, etc., etc. Then in the 20th century, these archetypes entered the world of modern psychology with the Swiss psychologist Carl Jung. Jung established a set of universal psychological patterns that derive from historical roles in life, such as the mother, the child, the knight, the servant, and many others. Now, think about whose archetype you want to focus on, and then mentally choose the card you most feel drawn to. You can use this reading to get information about an archetypal aspect of yourself that you need to be aware of, to explore, to work on, or also to find out archetypal aspects of another person. It can be like a family member, a friend, or a lover. The first card on your right, yes, here is marked by a seashell, and the one in the center by the orange stone cornelian, and then we have the tiger's eye. So now, let's take a look at the first one. All right. If you chose this card, your archetype is the orphaned child. Each card, as you can see, has light attributes and shadow attributes, shadow side. My attention is drawn to the shadow side of this card, and the orphan archetype feels that they aren't part of a family. They feel a sense of abandonment, and therefore they are always looking for their tribe. They're always looking for a family. So let's take a look at the guidebook. Shadow orphan manifests as failure to mature, an obsessive search for surrogate family structures to experience tribal union rather than moving on. So the advice here is that of evaluating your childhood memories, particularly if your painful history arises from the feeling that you were never accepted as a family member. So, basically, in practical terms, it's important for you to learn to discern when the need to join a community, a circle, a group of people stems from a genuine desire to share and to be part of a community, so to share ideals, hobbies, or passions, or if, on the contrary, it's only because you long to belong. And if so, the risk is that of ending up in groups of people, in circles that are not appropriate for you. So now let's take a look at the light attributes. We might say that when the feeling of being alone in the world is not experienced with victimhood or self-pity, but as an opportunity to grow, the orphan archetype shows its light attributes that are a sense of independence and being free from, being psychologically free from family conditioning, family beliefs, or expectations. Alright, so let's have a look at the card in the middle. Well, this archetype is the magical child. The magical child is also known as the divine child or the wonder child. And this archetype is able to see beauty in the world and in people, also where others would never be able to imagine it. Yes, so let's take a look here at the guidebook. Yes, so this type of child is the type of child that believes in fairies, that speaks to animals, and lives detached from the realities of the world, spending most of their time daydreaming. The qualities that they embody are not only joy, happiness, curiosity, and positive expectations, which are the typical, the basic qualities of childhood, but also the ability to maintain courage, hope, and optimism, even in the darkest of circumstances. Well, in other words, yes, this is the everything is possible type of approach. Yes, really beautiful. And also with this archetype has great potential for manifestation, as it is deeply anchored to the world of the unseen, the quantum world of the wave state, the wave state, yes, the world of pure potential. However, switching to the shadow side, when the shadow elements of this archetype take over, the child can turn into a depressed person, a pessimist, and yes, maybe their beliefs were crushed with the experiences of life, and now they feel disillusioned. They feel even cynical. They may choose to retreat to an imaginary world and also to avoid engaging in practical things. Consider that the imagination of this type, unfortunately, is able to work well also against their best interest. So maybe you can find yourself vividly imagining or anticipating worst-case scenarios. And in this way, you might create a point of many points of negative attraction. If this is the case, be aware of that, and keep your negative creations at bay by grounding yourself first, so as to discharge negativity. And like, for example, you might spend time on manual hobbies, physical workout, doing volunteer work, or just walking in nature. And then after this grounding stage, you will be able to switch back to the light attribute, to the light aspects of your archetype, that are joy and positive belief. Examples of the magical child in literature or in the movies are Alice in Wonderland and like also Forrest Gump. So, third and last archetype card, the father. This archetype has to do with the authority and the capacity of the masculine to initiate, to create, and put ideas into fruition. The father is also linked to the ability to oversee others, like in a family, in a group of people, or even a staff in a company. The positive father represents the mature masculine, which manifests as guidance and protection, but never at the expense of the autonomy of those under his care. The key ideas associated with the positive father are law, order, rationality, justice, and discipline. In its shadow aspect, the father can be punitive, rageful, brutal, rigid, controlling, and may even abuse of more vulnerable individuals. Basically, this archetype points at our relationship with the masculine parental energy, our inner sense of authority, and the way in which we are proactive in the world, either through leadership or through greed. Sometimes this archetype is also a reminder that in order to find our own way in life, we need to separate from our father. Of course, we can always return to him as adults with the capacity for a more balanced relationship. Examples of the father archetype in the movies are Colin Firth in The King's Speech, positive, and Darth Vader in Star Wars as negative, of course. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you very much for checking out my video, and see you the next time. Bye bye.